Hello everybody, Intuition here. Thank you as always for making time and space for us. Today we would like to discuss the concept of fear. It seems as though fear is pervasive at this time in our collective consciousness, whether that be from the political climate, the social climate, or just simple circumstances that are happening and finding you in your everyday life. However, it is important to understand fear and how it works and where it comes from so that you could rise above fear, because fear really genuinely is just an illusion. It has no real place in space for you in your everyday life. It is not helpful, it is not beneficial, it does not keep you alive in survival situations. All it does is lend to more challenges, because again, it pushes you into a program. It does not allow you to access all it is that you inherently are and all it is that you know. And so anytime that you are in a state of fear, whether it be a physical situation or an emotional situation that is putting into a state of fear, it is important to know that what is underneath that fear is the belief that you are unsafe. Anytime that I am in a state of fear, I'm telling myself that I am not safe in the situation that is currently presenting itself. And if I'm telling myself that I'm unsafe in the current situation that is presenting itself, that means that I am no longer trusting in myself to be able to keep myself safe. Because if I trusted in myself to keep myself safe, I would not be feeling unsafe, and thus then therefore I would not be moving into a state of fear. The only time that you would lose trust in yourself is when you forget who it is that you are. When you remember who it is that you are, viscerally, tangibly, without a doubt, there is no possibility that you would stop trusting yourself. There is no possibility that you would ever feel unsafe, and there surely isn't a possibility in which you'd be moving into a state of fear. It is only when you forget who it is that you are that fear becomes a reality based off of the mistrust and illusion of unsafety that perpetuates in the experience, and that you then lose yourself in. So it is important for you to know yourself, because again, when you know yourself, nothing is going to sway you in any direction. It is a falsehood that fear is beneficial to you. It is a falsehood that fear helps you to get into your instinctual survival tactics, in which then therefore you are able to fight or flee. Because though fear does elicit that program, it is still a program. Not based in your knowing, it is based on something that has been programmed through evolutionary survival tactics, not based in the knowing of all it is that you are. The only reason, again, why you adapted those survival tactics, fleeing and fighting, is because you didn't know who it is that you are, and the assumption that I had to do those things in order to survive. And it is when I rely on those things too much that I forget myself and naturally feel unsafe. If you come across a bear in your travels, and you come face to face with this bear, it is understandable that you've become fearful, but again, the only reason why you'd be becoming fearful is because you've forgotten who it is that you are. Because you are seeing an apex predator, of course, but when you forget yourself, all you see is that there is an apex predator in front of you, and forget that you are also an apex predator, that you are just as dangerous, if not more so, than this bear. But, again, if you move into a program of fear, the program is going to say, well, you either need to fight this bear or you need to run from this bear. And both of those choices are not good choices. However, if you were able to stay regulated within yourself, if you were able to stay in the knowing of yourself, you will see more options available to you than just fear, which would again only indicate those running or fighting options. If you know yourself, then you will say, well, those options are valid, but also I'm smarter than this bear. And I could use my wit and intelligence and understanding to be able to outsmart this bear. Which means that I'm still in control, which means that I'm still safe. It is only when I move into a state of fear that I become very unsafe, because I switch out of my knowing and move into a program that is destined to fail, because the program only exists based on the precipice of forgetting all it is that I am and what it is that I have available to me when I stay resourced within myself. And the reason why we are talking about fear is because many of the current circumstances globally that are happening in this time is eliciting a state of fear. And it is important to know that if I am moving into a state of fear, then again, I am forgetting who it is that I am, what it is that I am, and the power that I possess when I know who I am. If something or someone is trying to put me into a state of fear, then that is a red flag on their end. Because if they are trying to put me in a state of fear, that means on some level they're trying to bully me. And if they're trying to bully me, then that already shows their intelligence level. Because if they're using fear to induce a system of control, then that means that they really have no control. They only have control if I buy into the fear propaganda in which they are eliciting. And if I buy into that fear, then you should be afraid. Because again, you are forgetting all it is that you know, forgetting the vast resource that you are when you know yourself. And so, to move out of fear is simply realizing that a situation feels unsafe to me. And if I am feeling unsafe, then on some level I do not trust that I'm going to be able to keep myself safe in whatever it is that is occurring. And if I'm telling myself that, then that means I'm buying into an illusion that doesn't exist, because there is no reality in which you wouldn't keep yourself safe. Not because I'm, again, moving into my instincts through fear, but because I'm moving into my all-knowing that exists outside of fear and feelings. And so, we share this with you simply so that you could be more resourced within yourself and understand what it is that's really happening. If something or someone is using fear in order to control you, then it really shows how out of control they are. And it is only that you become out of control when you buy into the illusion of fear in which they're propagating. And the only reason that you would be buying into that is because you feel unsafe and you start mistrusting yourself and trusting the person that is instilling fear in you, trusting that there really is a situation outside of your control that can cause harm to you, and that does not exist. In no way, shape, or form could that ever be the reality, because you are always in control of yourself. And if you are in control of yourself, then you will always be able to keep yourself safe, regardless of the external circumstances that are telling you otherwise. Because external circumstances don't have as much control over you as you have control over you. It is all how you choose to respond to what it is that is occurring. But if you're becoming reactive, then know that you're not really going to get too far. And so, as always, just a little food for thought. We wish you well, wading through some of the fear-based beliefs that are keeping you stuck and away from all it is that you know and resourced within yourself. Well wishes.